You were born for more than this moment. I know how heavy it feels when life seems to move on without you. When your heart wonders if God truly sees you, if he even remembers you, you reach for hope. But all you feel is emptiness. You look in the mirror and wonder, am I enough? You wake up with a weight on your chest so familiar it's hard to say it's there. And maybe you've believed the lie that you're here by accident, that your story will never matter. But my child, I'm here to speak into that quiet ache, because my eyes have never stopped watching over you. My hands have never stopped shaping you. My heart has never stopped loving you. You were born for more. I formed you with purpose in the shadows of eternity. Before your first breath, before your first tear, before the world began to spin, I carried you in my heart. You were not a surprise. You were not an afterthought. You were a promise, a hope, a gift. Isaiah 64:8 says, "We are the clay, and you are the potter. We are all the work of your hand." That's you, my masterpiece. I did not create you to blend in or to survive quietly on the sidelines. You were created to shine, to impact, to stand out, to transform. You were born for more. I know you haven't felt it lately. Maybe discouragement sits heavy, like a thorn in your side. Maybe comparison steals your joy, making your gifts feel inadequate next to others. Maybe the dreams you thought were yours feel distant, like someone else is living the life you once whispered to me about. But remember what I say in Jeremiah 29:11. It's not just a promise to the crowd, it's my personal declaration over you. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, to give you a future and a hope. That future has your name engraved on it. That hope is the light I built inside you when I shaped you as you were knit in your mother's womb. You are not forgotten. Your purpose is alive, even if right now it's hidden beneath the wounds, the waiting, the wilderness. Look at Moses. He was called to lead a nation out of slavery, but he stuttered. He hid in the shadows, fearful and unsure. Yet I chose him. I didn't pick a voice, because I already was his voice. I didn't need his confidence, because my strength would carry him. He spent decades in the wilderness, but every day was preparation for destiny. And when I placed the staff in his hand, he went from unknown shepherd to mighty deliverer. You may feel unlikely, you may feel unqualified. But I didn't call the able. I empower the available. I empower the available. Your weaknesses aren't disqualifications. They're invitations for me to show up. Then there's Gideon. 22,000 armies, and yet I told him there were too many. He felt forgotten, unseen, insignificant. He came from the smallest tribe, the least in Israel. And yet, by my design I stripped away fear and doubt, until only my power remained. 300 stood against 1,000, and my glory showed up, to win the battle, but also to grow Gideon's identity in who I am. You are not small. You are not insignificant. I want your identity rooted in me, not in your achievements, your title, or your popularity. I want your heart to know who I say you are. Esther was another voice my people needed, hidden in a palace. She was a refugee, an orphan, but I placed her in a place that seemed irrelevant until I whispered purpose in her ear. For such a time as this, it wasn't luck. It was design. She was born into exile yet placed into power, not to stay silent but to speak up, to intercede, to become a deliverer. That's who you've been made to be, someone who shows up when courage and faith are required. You were born for such a time as this. Peter was just a fisherman before he met Jesus. He stumbled, he spoke before thinking, and later he denied the one he loved. But I didn't discard him. I restored him, I gave him a new name and a vision that said the whole world could hear the good news. Your past mistakes don't define you. Hollywood writes redemption. I write purpose. When you give your faults to me, I create a platform for my grace. You were born for more than survival. You were born to carry love, to reflect hope, to shine my light in ways only you can, through the gifts only you have. Don't shrink back, don't blend in, don't apologize. You're not just living, you're living into destiny. And every step you take, every prayer you whisper, every moment you choose kindness over fear, you're walking into purpose. There may be days when success looks impossible, days where it seems everyone else is moving forward while you're still in the shadows. But I want you to fix your eyes on me, not the scoreboard. Fix them on my word, not your feelings. Fix them on my voice, not the noise. Day by day I am forming something in you deeper than emotion. A faith that's unshakable. An identity, rooted in love. A hope that outlasts the darkest night. Don't measure your significance by likes or applause. You are my beloved, and that's enough. Before the world applauded, I loved you. Before you achieved anything, I called you by name. My approval isn't earned, it's given. When the world tries to define your worth, speak back, I am my Father's beloved. Speak back, I am my Father's beloved. Because that's what you are, not by what you've done but by who you belong to. And when you stumble, don't stop. When the road gets hard, don't quit. Moses felt called, but he stumbled at the Red Sea. David fought giants and faced betrayal. Mary was misunderstood. The heroes you admire had hard chapters too. The heroes you admire had hard chapters too, but they trusted me through the uncomfortable, the uncertain, the impossible. And so can you, beloved, because you're living into a God who makes beauty from brokenness. Every setback isn't a standstill. It's my setup. Every fall isn't failure. It's my opportunity to raise you higher. Your scars are not your scars are not your scars are not your shame. They read my story. And I am telling a beautiful one. You were born for more than fear, more than regret, more than simply getting by. You were born for impact, for influence, for spiritual depth that touches lives beyond what you see. And my child, even now I am breathing hope into your weary soul. I am not waiting for something spectacular to speak purpose into your life. I speak into your everyday moments because that is where destiny begins. When you plant a seed in faith, water it with perseverance and shelter it with prayer and humility, my Spirit breathes life into it. That small step of obedience, that shaken faith on your knees, that hidden prayer after midnight. These are moments I have recorded in heaven. These are moments where purpose is born. You may look at your circumstances and think they're too ordinary for significance, too ordinary for destiny. But remember Gideon, an obscure farmer hiding in threshing floors, yet I called him to lead an army. Remember Esther, an orphan bride in a palace she never asked for, yet I used her voice to save nations. Remember Peter, a fisherman who sank in fear and denied his friend, yet I restored him and built my church through him. Your life may look ordinary right now, but that does not limit who I can use you to become. I am crafting something beautiful in your heart. A deeper compassion, a stronger courage, a more profound faith. It may feel like an unfinished page, but your story is still being written. I will fill in each line, each chapter, each tear, and each triumph. And when the time is right, you will look back and say, this was always part of the plan. I am not asking you to do more. I'm inviting you to be who I created you to be in me. Brave, compassionate, faithful, unashamed. When you let me mold your heart, your small acts matter. A prayer whispered when you thought no one heard. A sacrifice made in secret. A kindness shared in waiting. They all echo in eternity. When you align your identity with mine, you walk into strength that feels supernatural. You speak hope into darkness, you set captives free, you change culture, one person at a time. Not because you're perfect, but because my grace is perfect in you. When you walk in the purpose I've placed in your soul, your life has ripple effect. You mother a dream in others, you believe on behalf of those who can't. You speak my words over voices swallowed by fear. I see you. I treasure you. I'm with you. I know right now it might not look like much, you might feel stuck. But the seed inside you carries the life of forests. Keep watering it with faith. Keep encouraging it with prayer. Keep feeding it with my word. The harvest is coming. Let go of comparison. Release the need to control. Let your identity grow in being my child, not your performance. In my voice, not what the world shouts. Let me be your validation. Let me be your hope. Let me be your purpose. You were born for more than enough. You were born for brilliance, hidden at first, but bursting through the shadows. You were born to change things, not in your timing but in my power. You were born